He got 50 after 50 after 50 after 50. Stephon Castle put in a valiant effort, but the return of the Mac was undeniable. From cars to ladders to Evan Mobley, Mac Mcclung is single-handedly saving the NBA dunk contest. From Vince Carter to Zach LaVine to Aaron Gordon, Mac Mcclung might have leapfrogged all of them as he is the first player ever to three-peat the NBA dunk contest. So I'm going to ask you this. Is he the greatest dunker ever?
It's tough. I'm going to put it out there because Vince started it all. Not at the end of the day, like the elbow through and everything, the stuff he has done was amazing. Yeah.
He literally put on the map.
Nate Robinson won 3 as well. You got to remember that. And he's short. I think he's shorter than Mac Mcclung as well. But like, if you're talking about recently, what Mac Mcclung has done, the props, the creativity and all that, he's in consideration. Am I confident to say he's the greatest right now? No, I might still have to give that to Vince, nostalgia purposes mainly. But what Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon did were also amazing too. But it is for me between Vince and maybe Mac Mcclung at the moment. But going back to that dunk contest, NBA All-Star Weekend was there. And once again, what used to be the funnest weekend has now been dwindling as we speak. Before it was just a dunk contest. Now everything, including the game, has been going down. But what Mac Mcclung has done is helping him, his case of the greatest of all time in terms of dunking, because Ja Morant has officially tweeted that he wants to be part of this in a sense, right? Like how much of that is a troll, I don't know, because in the past he said it depends. But what the reason why the dunk contest was going downhill was, and no offense to Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon as well, the stars were not much doing it. Zach LaVine at the time wasn't considered this, all-star level player, right? It was until his trade to the Bulls that he was. Aaron Gordon is still one of the best role players of all time. But when you think of in the past, Vince is a Hall of Famer, Jordan, Dominique, Kobe, right? They haven't done it. Like Dwight Howard was the last, you could say, superstar player that really was in the dunk contest on the top of my head, right?
And it makes sense, right? Like, why the hell would you tune into the dunk contest when you don't know anyone doing the dunk contest? Other than Mac Mcclung, I had no idea who the other 3 players
People
were.
tuned in.
I know Stephon Castle, barring him
Yeah,
too.
but like, these guys were rookies or second-year players, right? Like Donovan Mitchell, when he was in it, like he wasn't Donovan Mitchell of now, right?
Yeah, so like when I'm thinking about it, it's like say if you have like 2 star players, all legit all-star players, maybe superstar players, right? And you have 2 like, role players or non-known players, right? And that's where, maybe in that sense, that's where you could get the surprises. Say if it was like, LeBron and like Ja, and at that time LaVine and someone, and LaVine would have been the surprise, saying like, oh, this guy's a legit dunker. He should be part of it again. That's the case, because at the end of the day, initially, you're not going to tune into LaVine, and Gordon matchup. You're like we barely know these guys.
I know people,
right? And then this one, like, who the hell is Mac Mcclung? He hasn't even played an NBA game.
He has,
Well,
but not like meaningful minutes.
Yeah, he's not been on a NBA roster properly.
He's made more money on dunk contest money than he has in NBA minutes. So like,
I could understand why people won't tune in. The thing is, what Mac Mcclung has done, especially after that first year, was like, he made himself a name for it. But initially, people might not watch the first one because at the end of the day, who the hell was Mac Mcclung then? No one, really.
It was this, right? Like, people tuned into the dunk contest for the name dunk contest, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like I said, All-Star Weekend used to be, the NBA probably had the best All-Star Weekend as a whole in terms of skills competition.
Yeah, but what helps the name is like, oh, Kobe Bryant's doing it.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's doing it. Dominique's doing it, right? That's what's also going to help. So that's a major factor that like nobody might not care anymore.
I guess with the Mac Mcclung factor to it, and listen, it's tough for a lot of the current generation because a lot of the creativity, how much more creative can you be, right? Like what Vince has done, if someone else did it, it's like, oh, Vince did it already, like that, right? That's the issue. Like, so that's why with Mac Mcclung, yeah, maybe it's the fact that he's in the G League and he has more time to come up with this creativity and all that. But like I said, All-Star Weekend in general needs fixing. That's a whole different video we could focus on later. The dunk contest, at least from this weekend, showed, because there's 2 things that are happening that weekend: the skills challenge and like the dunk contest and the 3-point. NHL was having their Four Nations face-off, and that was Canada versus USA during that time. And even the hockey fans were like, oh, damn, like, yeah, what they were doing. Yes, it was an exhibition, but it showed like, oh, yeah, these guys were fighting and everything during what is considered to be a glorified all-star thing, right? But going to this thing, we tuned into this because Mac Mcclung, at the end of the day, I think he had clips that helped him a little bit, and people wanted to tune in of like what this G League guy is. It's a good thing that he's winning, and a good thing how dominant he is now, because we're getting Ja Morant saying, hey, yo, Zach, AG, Aaron Gordon, What are you guys saying, right? Giannis said he'll do it. Now, Giannis backtracked his comments a little bit. I think he said his kids hacked him or something on his phone. But Zach responded like, oh, I might have to come out now, right? And we'll get into later of who we want in it. But overall, like, yes, the whole weekend needs saving for the most part, especially the game. But the dunk contest, at least we could see a little bit of a revive if these star players are going. And it depends on how creative can they be as well. Like at the end of the day, you could be to a certain point, like, yeah, you want the stars in, but can they be extra creative to it?
Sometimes it's not being extra creative, but if you have the athleticism, right? Like say, like you do the Vince Carter through the legs dunk. It's like how emphatically can you do it, right? How explosive can you do it? You know, when some of these guys try, it doesn't feel like, you know, it happens fast. It feels like it's slow.
Like Mac did pretty much first try everything. Yeah, right. The car one was because of a little bit of a bad pass, and he got it in the second try.
Yeah, that's also a major reason, right?
Yeah,
like that increases the wow factor.
Yeah,
right. I know creativity is one thing, but like just what I also like, you know, feel to get me getting off my seat each and every dunk, like what Levine made me do was just his explosiveness, you know, his quickness.
Yeah,
like it just, you know, like it happens a split second. And you're just in my head, I'm like, oh, what the hell just happened, right? That's also another feeling I feel like, you know, is very important. So like I know Levine mastered that. I know Jock Moran had definitely mastered that. And obviously Mcclung has mastered that. Same with obviously Vince Carter starting.
I know some people are saying, oh, Mcclung is doing push-offs. It's a little bit of a push-off. You can't say like he's doing a massive push-off for his height, especially with the Ivan Mobley dunk, right? Overall, but yeah, we'll see how this ends up going because we need to, like I said. If I'm Mcclung, I need a payday from the NBA. He said he might consider retirement. So if they need me bad enough, his words of nicer way of saying pay me essentially. Because if I'm him and I have to carry another dunk contest with, I'm not saying a bunch of nobodies, that's too disrespectful, but like a bunch of non-stars or like up and coming rookies, give me at least $1 million or whatever the case may be, because he is at least putting people out of their seats. Like, it might not have been the greatest contest. Shout out Stephon Castle. He did well. Don't get me wrong. He did, yeah. But, like, it's not like when we had that one-on-one from 2016, Toronto, Levine, and Aaron Gordon. Or we didn't have the one from 2020, I believe, Chicago, when it was Aaron Gordon, Derrick Jones Jr., right? Another guy who was a good dunker. So, like, in this case, like, if I'm Mcclung, if I get the stars in, I need to get paid because I'm the main reason why. Or if I'm not getting the stars in and you just want me to be here as your like little monkey showpiece type thing, I need to get paid for it. Right? At the end of the day, he is. If that's the reason and no stars come in next year, he's the reason why saving the dunk contest. You need to might have to pay this guy like the vet minimum at the minimum just for the dunk contest. He's single-handedly
saving it, right? At the end of the day, like all these stars, you know, tweeting like John Morant, obviously, who everyone wants, you know, to be in the dunk contest, it is because of Mcclung. And that's how, like, the first step, if it does come to that point where, like, the stars are actually doing it again, it's because of Mcclung. And that's why he single-handedly revived / saving the dunk contest from, like, you know, not being the main event, maybe.
So a question to you is this. One, do you see the stars coming in next year? Like, do you think it will get fixed? Like, do you think it will revive as much as you can revive it?
It should, yeah, because like there's gonna be like at the end of the day, like if no matter how good or bad John Morant performs next year, right? People are gonna tune in because it's John Morant. You know, people are gonna tune in if it was Zach LaVine, right? Like because they know who these guys are, right? And obviously this year we tuned in because of Mcclung because we knew who he is. So the name itself just gonna bring in eyes before even the contest even starts, which is a big factor in my opinion.
So shelf life could be 1 year because if it doesn't go great with the stars, then I feel like you cannot do anything more really. The dunk at that point is just like a one-man show, right? It's not even a contest. It's just
you just gotta like
it's just a show.
Find a diamond in the rough type thing.
It's like a show showtime. That's it. Like
Levine and Gordon were diamonds in the rough.
Sorry,
Levine and Gordon were diamonds in the rough. Same with Mcclung's a diamond in the rough, right? Like that, at the end of the day, you just gotta hope and pray for those ones.
We're talking specifically casual fans here, right? We're not saying like, well, obviously the diehards know Levine from UCLA and what Aaron Gordon did in Arizona and stuff. Like, we know they have the capabilities of doing it. And we're talking about the casual fan tuning in for the most part.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's not like that way. But that being said, to close it off here, so let's assume that the stars will be coming. Name your 4. Maybe if you want to expand it, you can. But let's just say the minimum 4, 1 being Mcclung, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Who are the remaining 3 that you would like to see next year if this is not just for shits and giggles?
Yeah, you know, if this legit, everyone's down for it, no injuries, none of that. Our, you know, dream world, Mcclung is gonna be in it. John Morant's gonna be in it. Zach LaVine's going to be in it. Aaron Gordon is going to be in it. On the bubble for me is Edwards, Zion, because I don't trust his weight. And yeah, I think Edwards and Zion are
well,
on
if we're
the
assuming
bubble.
health, right? Expanded to 6 and add those 2 in. I would love to see, obviously, Mcclung has to be in it because he has the title. John Morant for sure. I want to see Anthony Edwards in it. I don't know how much of a showcase dunker he will be, but like I want to see in it. I will say LaVine for sure. Like I want Aaron Gordon in it, but he doesn't technically have a title. That's the shitty thing. And I want to see Zion in it too for sure. But like, okay, if it's my dream for sure, Mcclung, Anthony Edwards, John Morant, Zion Williamson.
That's your dream?
That's mine because we've seen LaVine and we've seen Gordon. As much as I want to include those guys in it because they will probably give us a wow factor, I think from at least outside of Mcclung, the 3 that I mentioned have never done it before, and we could see some new creativity.
The reason why
as well.
mine is Mac, Zach, Aaron, and Ja, I have faith in Ja, and I know he can perform.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, Edwards and Zion, I still have question marks about. And Zach, LaVine, and Aaron Gordon done it before, and they've like put us out of our seats, many times. And another main reason I want Zach LaVine in it, because if he does win, he's also a 3-time champ too.
Then bring back Nate Robinson. I'm kidding.
He's
but
also a 3-time
yeah, no,
champion.
overall, like I said, expanded to 6, add the 2 other guys. Those are the main ones I'm saying. I don't know how good Giannis will be in this.
I don't think Giannis wasn't part of one before. I think it was that 2016 one.
Oh, okay, but
then, I think it was him and Drummond and then the other 2.
Yeah, but for me, that's my 4. That's your 4. Open it to 6 and put all 6 in there if we need to. But yeah, if you guys, hey, Ja, don't tweet it for the sake of tweeting it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, don't get our hopes up.
Don't get the hopes up. But we'll see what happens next year. Mcclung, demand your money. That's my advice to you. Demand your money because they're just going to be using you for the rest of time otherwise. But comment down below, do you think that the dunk contest can be revived and saved for future years? Comment down below what you think about the All-Star Weekend overall in the NBA as well. We appreciate you guys once again. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below as I mentioned. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.